Woohoo! We did it, kind of. You all right? How is everybody? Welcome to New Drum Drinker. We are back again. Promise you, I'm going to try not to get quite as drunk this time as we try the samples, because last time it got a little bit messy. But I'm going to do a bit of a shout out to the people who are in the chat first, and because we love the fact that people are even in there at all. So who have we got in there, Nick?
We've got Loon Aaron, Ear Whiskey, Gregoire, Paul Gibbs.
Welcome, guys.
Whiskey Shared.
Welcome, guys. You're coming. Whiskey Novice.
Whiskey
welcome,
Novice.
welcome, welcome. We love the fact Whiskey Pilgrim's coming now. We'll keep on updating as people come in. And David Evans, that's a new name as well. Hi, David. Ear Whiskey. We'll see you in a minute. You know you're going to be in there.
Hard Baggett, Multi Haggis Muncher.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
awesome.
lovely,
We've got
lovely,
loads
lovely.
coming in. It's so nice to see when you can see people that are taking the time out of their evening to come in. Before we get going, we've got the 150 subscriptions giveaway coming up later on. So if you've come in for that, that will happen just a little bit later on.
We're so excited.
Yeah, I mean, we had a nice few people kind of get involved with it.
Good fun to do a giveaway.
Yeah, I think it's our second Infinity bottle as well. So we want to share that with someone. So we haven't had any ourselves yet. So it'll be the first bottle that's come out of the Infinity
And an
bottle.
envelope if you haven't already received one.
If you haven't already had one, if you've got one already, you won't want another one, I'm sure. So let us know.
You will. You can never have too many stickers.
Yeah, let us know and I'll put some.
There's some new stuff as well, badges and stuff.
Definitely. This chat, we want to try and experiment a little bit with it. It's our first time on StreamYard as well, so we're kind of learning the ropes.
Bear with us.
We want you guys to come in if you're up for it, if you want to chat with us. Originally, we set it up so that if you've got the same samples that we've got, you can drink the same ones at the same time as us and help us through it. But I've kind of gone off that idea a little bit, and I just think if you want to chat with us, if you want to plug your channel, if you want to do anything, just jump on. Just jump on. We are going to put on the email address and everything that you need. So I'll put that up now. Send an email to Nick to let her know that you're interested in joining the chat or the video, and we'll send you the link back, and you can jump straight in with us, and we can have a chat, face to face, person to person, talk about your channels, your things you're doing, things you're drinking, things like that. So we'd love that if you can. We have got.
Can I just say hello to Loch Ness? Johnny from Spirits People has joined us. We've got somebody new, Huggy Bear.
Okay,
he came via Luna, so that's really cool. Lovely, nice to meet you. Yeah. Whiskey Friend is here. We didn't think you were going to join us, Alan. Woohoo!
You're on holiday, aren't you?
Yeah, you're on holiday. Really?
Please don't tell me you're on the beach while you're watching this, because if you are, just shut down.
If you're in your budgie smugglers, we don't want to know.
Yeah, or just send us pictures, whatever it is. But we appreciate your time as you're on holiday.
Yeah. So Whiskey Trials have just dropped in. Hello.
Hiya, mate. How you doing? How you doing?
We're doing
it's lighting up, so I mean, it's more than I ever hoped.
Let's get going.
Yeah, let's get going.
Because we've got empty glasses.
So, like I said before, if you want to join us, send an email to the link or to the email address below, and we'll bring you in 10, 15 minutes, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, come and have a chat. We're just free flowing today.
Yeah. There's no kind of expectations. If you just fancy it, you're more than welcome to join us. Nick's going to keep her eye on the email, so if we get any.
So if I'm looking this way, it's because I'm trying to do the chat, the emails.
Yeah, we want to put faces to names and things like that, and get a community.
We so want to meet you. It's
So we've got someone waiting in the aisle to do the first dram with,
which is the Arbalaw 12 double can.
Which is the Arbalaw, and
Arbalawa. How do you say it?
So I'll bring that up now. This is the first one, and we will get rid of the banner so you can see it. There you go. So this one was the Arbalaw from Alan, the Whiskey Friend. Go and check him out on YouTube. So you are more than welcome to go and find him.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Alan. We're going to try it now.
And if you're drinking the same as us, definitely put stuff in the chat, because we want to know what you're thinking, what you're nosing, what you're tasting.
We are going to need help, because we genuinely need help.
Oh, we love it. We just love the whole what you smell, what we smell, what you taste, what we taste.
So I think without any delay, we should bring Matt in.
Yeah.
He's doing brilliant things, to be honest. He's got a channel called Air Whiskey that it's almost like a podcast on YouTube. So they go on for a bit longer than your average kind of videos that you would watch on YouTube. But you can stick them in.
So many good visitors as well.
Yeah, he's doing brilliant, to be honest. He's got, you put your earphones in, just listen to him for an hour to 3 hours, I think is the longest one he's done. It's just nice to have something that you can listen to for a longer period of time rather than a 5 or 10 minute video on YouTube, to be honest. So we will bring Matt in now. We're going to drink like I said, the Aberlour 12. So if you've got that, get it ready and you can help us. So everybody, welcome Matt. And here he comes now. Matt,
hey guys.
How you doing, my friend? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? And thank you for that introduction. That was humbling. Thank you.
No, mate. It's nothing you don't deserve. What you got going on, buddy, with your channel? I know things are kind of galloping along quite fast, aren't they, for you?
Well, just had an awesome chat with Jesse from Stillet last night, 7:30 in the morning for him, 10-hour time difference. But yeah, just about everything, whiskey, homemade whiskey distillation and stuff like that. And have some pretty cool things coming up. I'm sitting down with Roy Aquavite. I think you've heard of him. Tomorrow. I don't know when that will air, but yeah, I look forward to that.
Yeah. Is it a nerve-wracking scenario having someone like Roy or?
Well, yeah, it is. I have a deep, profound respect for the guy. He has. I always say he's like the Obi-Wan to my whiskey journey in a way. So yeah, it's absolutely an honor to that he is going to devote some time to sit down and talk to me like that. I'm humbled by that, absolutely, and I am by anybody who want to do this. Sit down and talk, ramble on, like you said, up to like 3 hours. That's amazing.
That
I'm looking at you.
Whiskey Pilgrim, wasn't it? 3 hours. That's the record so far.
Yeah, it is.
So if anyone on here thinks I can beat 3 hours talking about whiskey, then
Absolutely.
I think, to be honest, I think my knowledge would probably peak about 17 minutes.
Well, the channel is just about, we can talk whiskey for 5 minutes, and then the last, 2 hours and 55 minutes could be all ramblings of any sort. There's no structure or any boundaries to the sandbox in a way. So yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's just getting together and having a chat like friends. There's no kind of set agenda. It's just a matter of enjoying yourselves and letting it flow. Yeah,
and hopefully, I'm just as stupid as the next guy when it comes to all this whiskey knowledge. There's such a vast, chest to play with and stuff to pull out. So anytime I can sit down with people who can teach me something and can learn stuff from, that's just amazing. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So,
do you want to talk about whiskey? There's some little discussion going on in the chat where people are saying they think the 10 is better. The 10-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Alan still in the chat?
It was the Whiskey Shared and then Whiskey Novice. They're both saying I think the 10 is lighter, easier on the palate. Okay. So, interesting. Luna Aaron is jealous. She wants Roy as an Obi-Wan. That's what she wants.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Yeah. It's. I think it's. It is nice to have people to look up to in not just in the whiskey world, but in the YouTube world as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think it helps you strive for bigger and better things.
Yeah. We're totally open to any information or advice. So we're meeting some really cool people that we wouldn't have normally met. So it's really good.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of it's been encouraging in all ways, really. I think from what we've found. People who are in the whiskey world or people who are in the YouTube world in a different kind of category, they've all been very, very welcoming. So it's, I think that's great. You can't ask for any more, can you?
You know what? I have never met a true asshole through this online YouTube whiskey community. I haven't.
No.
Some people may have, but I have yet to encounter someone who I would like feel like punch in the face. Sorry.
Yeah.
but really, you know, people are so cool, so polite. Even people who are just, you know, supporting people who create, you know, or just tuning in, scheduled every time there's something popping up, leaving comments, sharing. You know, there's such a huge, you know, support from this community. It's amazing. It really is.
Even to the point where I've posted some things on Instagram or Twitter or something like that, and I've got something wrong, and you don't get the haha, you've done something wrong. You get the mate, you know, I think you've got that wrong. I'd correct it.
Or
People
my
say
experience is different to yours.
Yeah,
it's quite subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I had someone comment. I can't remember who it was now. I was at work, but he disagreed. He liked Woodford Reserve, which many people do, but it wasn't a, well, I think you've got that wrong. I like Woodford Reserve.
No. Yeah.
It was, oh, well, I like it. And he gave a good account of why he liked it. It wasn't a, well, I can't believe you don't like this. It's just, it's just your opinion, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
different
it's
opinion.
not getting aggressive or getting like wound up because someone doesn't have the same opinion as you.
No,
You know?
I think people, you know, getting aggressive and doing, you know, weird stuff on that end, you know, getting so hyped up and emotional about it, just come on, chill out, you know, just it's whiskey. It's not terrible art anymore. You know, come on, there's bigger things in the world to care about.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, everyone is just so cool.
Yeah.
I think
so. Can I just say we've literally started like there's a back and forth now.
Okay.
Lots of people are saying they love the 12 because it's sherried.
Okay.
Some people prefer the 10. I think you can smell the sherry.
Yeah.
Oh, you're drinking already. Wow.
I haven't started yet. I'm just sniffing it.
So let's go in for it then, Beans, as that's what people are here to see.
Yeah.
I had a glass before we went live, and oh yeah, I did. I had 3 kids like this. The only thing I could smell was balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
But that's gone now. I don't know. I had some spicy food. I don't know if that messed up my sense.
So has anybody in the chat got any recommendations on what we should be nosing or smelling?
No, I don't think so. Not so far. I think it smelled quite sweet, but it doesn't taste as sweet. I just had a sip. It doesn't.
Well, I get the caramel straight away.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
I get apricots and a bit of cream.
Yeah. I'm thinking fruits. Yeah. There's a fruity smell, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like I always.
It's quite a dark colour, but it doesn't smell as. I was expecting like deep, like plums and things, but I haven't got that.
No, it's not as dense as you would think.
No, not at all. It's fruity, but not as deep as
fruity,
I was thinking, like grapes or plums.
I get the impression from the nose that it won't be.
The interesting thing is this aged, you know, separately for 12 years in bourbon and sherry and then blended, or is it bourbon cask in like 10 years and finished for 2 years? Because I feel like I get a lot of bourbon cask influence, vanilla, you know, that sweet deep round finish, and then, you know, just this coating of a bit of waxy fruit in a way.
What's the general opinion of Aberlour in the whiskey world?
I don't know. I don't think people talk about Aberlour as much as some other branch. You know, I think, you know, obviously the Aberlour Abuna is something that is a high standard. And is a great whiskey. I don't know, man.
See, coming at it from our angle of obviously fairly new to it, for some reason I must have got it from somewhere, because I've got no reason to have made it like it up myself. But it comes across as a lower. It came across as a lower end brand of whiskey,
Yeah.
and I don't know why. Someone at some point, or I must have read somewhere that gave me that impression because I.
Yeah. Hold that thought. I'll be right back.
Can I just say we've got somebody new in?
Okay.
Rabbit in the Red Whiskey Reviews.
Oh, so yeah, yeah.
Philadelphia.
Wow,
I'm liking
cool.
it.
What's the
How
time?
is the Lefroy?
We love Lefroy, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Well, I'm just delving in gently. Yeah, you like Lefroy. The new Lefroy 12 cask strength batch.
Right.
So how is that?
Now, where's it? Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What time is it there?
All right, Whiskey Novice is saying we should have soft, chewy caramel on that 12.
On the palate or on the nose?
Oh no, heavy nap dinner soon.
It's very nice. It is very nice. It's got that caramel.
It has got a little bit of caramel, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does get the caramel.
I just thought it would be really fruity. Really, I was thinking grapes, plums,
Yeah.
that kind of red stuff. I haven't had that.
Yeah.
Now you've said caramel. There's definitely an element, not strong, not
Yeah.
really overpowering. I'm thinking it's quite. The sherry's there.
Yeah.
There's definitely a sherry taste.
Yeah.
Type.
Don't forget, guys, if you wish to join us,
Yeah.
email us at that email address and we'll bring you in. You're more than welcome to share a dram with us. We will get rid of Matt for a minute while he sorts out his kids. I know he's looking
There's
after them
something.
tonight.
There's something in this that's not sweet. You know, there's almost like a balance.
Like a sour. Like a
Yeah, not sour.
pepper.
It's not. Yeah, there's something that's not sweet.
Yeah. I think it definitely.
Should we have a look what we should be doing? Let's have a look what we should be tasting. So on the nose, that arbaloa. So soft and rounded with fruity notes of red apple.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't get that. I didn't get the. I said plums, didn't I?
Yeah, we got fruit.
I
but
got
we couldn't
fruit, but
quite
not
nail
the-
it down, could we?
Palate, fine sherried character. Definitely got the sherry. Fruity aromas balanced with rich chocolate.
Never get chocolate.
But maybe the chocolate's the thing that I said. There's something else.
Yeah. We did a tasting a few weeks ago, didn't we? And they brought around little nosing strips of all the different flavours that you could taste or nose in the whiskey. But most of them didn't nose how
We
you would
think
expect
they
them
were,
to
yeah.
be. So the thing, when I've been getting caramel, that was malt.
Oh, and cardboard and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It was all
really
a bit,
strange, wasn't it? It was like the lemon and lime, the citrus.
Yeah.
That didn't smell like you would imagine it to.
And I think because we eat and drink lots of lemons and limes, you know what an actual lemon and an actual lime tastes like. Obviously, in a whiskey, it's going to be a bit different. And I think that's where we need to practice, isn't it? You know, like Johnny at Spirits People does like 3 different types of apple.
Yeah.
So it's not actually apple. Genuinely, it's like you get that fake banana or the fake milkshake, and it's about like training your palate, isn't it?
What do you guys like give much faith in these kind of nosing sets that you can buy? Because they are quite expensive as well.
Very, yeah.
I looked into it. I think you're looking at like £100, if not more.
And we've never bought one, but we are definitely exploring. You know, like if I buy herbs and spices and things, I grow a lot in the garden, and I've got the dried stuff, and it's like fresh parsley doesn't smell the same as dried parsley. It's all that kind of training your brain, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. I think that was a strange thing for me that what they are telling you these things
should be,
weren't what I thought they were.
And don't you think it's quite circumstantial, because the way you nose things, your nose might be different to mine.
Yeah.
So you might go, oh my God, that's really strong. And I'm like, no, can't smell it at all.
Yeah, it's a weird
You just
one,
wonder, don't you?
It almost either proved to me that the nosing kits aren't worth the money that they cost, or what I think things
or it's
smell
fake.
like
it's like a fake smell, an artificial smell.
I don't know which one, whether the nosing thing is better than I am or
the only thing I will say is I'm really good at picking out stuff that I eat a lot of. So for example, sultanas and currants, we eat lots of those, so I'm really good at that. And I have a lot of allergies, so I'm allergic to a lot of fruits. and things like that, sometimes my brain goes, oh! And I feel like because I know I can't eat it, my brain almost does this alarm thing. So there's a couple of things that I can't eat that I could, like almonds, for example, like nuts. If there's like a nutty smell or a nutty taste, I'm like, oh, I can really smell that because one, I haven't eaten it in years,
and it sets you
and my brain goes, no. I've had that a couple of times. It's just like prevalent. And when we had the oyster, the salty one, because I don't eat a lot of meat and I don't like salt, I never put salt in anything. That really was really strong for me. However, you eat a lot of meat, and you were like, "No, this is quite fine. This is subtle."
It took me a few drams to get used to that, because you don't. I've never really had salt in a whiskey before. Now it's really prevalent, really salty.
Whereas I couldn't eat bacon because that's all I would taste is the salt. So I think it's quite objective, isn't it? Because your palates are going to be different anyway as a person.
Yeah, I think I think the rock oyster, I know it's quite a highly thought of whiskey, but that initial dram when you're not used to it,
it's so different to anything else, isn't it?
It almost blows your mind because it's like salt.
Yeah.
Whenever would you have expected salt?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
It's one of those. So,
what are your thoughts? Like, are there any whiskies that you absolutely hate the taste of, or how do you feel about salty whiskies? Let us know.
I think also there's something to be said for whiskies that you know are highly thought of that you then drink and you're not sure of. So you kind of
Macallan.
But it's almost like, do you trick yourself into thinking that it's good because everyone else thinks it's good?
Do you feel like that as well about an expensive whiskey?
Oh,
in my head, 100%. If you've paid more
100%.
money, you think this is going to be great,
100%.
or I should like this, and then when you don't, you almost think it's your fault or your inexperience.
We've got the Glenmorangie Signet that I haven't opened. I bought it months and months ago. It's kind of been my top whiskey, and I haven't drank it yet. I'm almost got to the point where I'm too scared to. But we're lucky because Stuart sent us a sample of it.
This is where we disagree, because I don't believe in saving anything for a rainy day. I am the person that will use the best china on a random Tuesday. So I think we should just open the whiskey, be done with it. You are more, let's keep it for a special occasion. And
I think we need to.
But now I think we're worried because it's the most expensive whiskey we've got. What if we drink it and we hate it?
I'm going to say it again. Anyone want to join us? newdramdrinker@gmail.com. Send us an email. We will bring you in. You're more than welcome to. I've noticed Matt's back, so we'll bring him back in for a minute, and we're going to go on to the next dram. I don't know.
What would you say about that? I'm going to say it was interesting, not my favourite.
It didn't. I mean, it's nice.
It was a nice whiskey.
It's always hard, isn't it? Because someone took the time to send it into you, so you don't want to like.
Yeah, but they sent it because to expand our
knowledge. I would say it was.
And we did this really fast. We didn't like savour it. It wasn't like a. I think we did a good job of the fruity. We picked out the fruits.
I would say it was nice, but it didn't make me necessarily want to go and buy a bottle of it.
I get that. But thank you, Alan, because that was a nice share.
But that's the journey, isn't it? Surely figuring out what you don't like is as much the journey as finding out what you do like. So.
And maybe we'll try the 10 next time so we can do a comparison. I like that.
So let's bring Matt back in and say hello to him and see what he's got going on. You're back, Matt?
Yeah, sorry about that.
So what's your opinion on that? Well, we've given ours. What do you think?
The Abelard 12. I think it's a decent whiskey. I think it's a solid 6 out of 10. But when you reach 7, there's a long way to 10. I don't think it's a bad whiskey. I think it could have benefited a lot from being 43 or 46. I think the 40 is too low.
It doesn't stand out above many others, does it?
No, it really doesn't. You know, I bought this bottle because it was, listed down and on offer. And I have had a bottle of the 18, which is actually pretty good, and a bottle of the Abelard Abuna. So I thought, well, it's fitting.
So I'm not laughing at you. I've just read the friend that said. So Alan said he's going to go because he's just going to go put his towels out on his sunbed.
What?
The British thing. All right.
Oh, Alan.
Alan, come
Alan.
on, Alan. Go and get your look, Alan. Get on with your holiday, mate. We appreciate
I'm going to go put
wholeheartedly
my towels out.
that you have joined us, but get back to your holiday, mate.
Go and enjoy
That's
your holiday.
way more important than this. We do appreciate.
Sorry, Matt, I
the time.
interrupted you, but that made me giggle.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. No, I would say Aberlour 12. Aberlour 12, a decent whiskey. I would buy Glendronach 12 any day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a weird, palate when it comes to bourbon and sherry cask whiskeys. I've found that I actually don't enjoy that very much. I like exclusive bourbon or exclusive sherry.
Yeah.
But the combination can often to me feel like a bit like this one, where it feels like you have your ex-bourbon cask and then there is this coating to make it more sugary and sweet.
Yeah, definitely.
And that sort of tricks something in my brain. Yeah, I don't know. It's a decent whiskey, and to anybody new to whiskey, I say it's a great beginner whiskey. But it's whiskey I think you quickly evolve from.
Yeah. So it is. We're going to move on to the next one now, which is going to be the Balvenie, which is from Vin.
Wow.
From Nonsense Whiskey.
Thank you, Vin.
Thank you, Vin. It's a very nice. We will get into that now. So you haven't got that one, have you?
No, I have 12. I can pretend I have it.
Well, get the 12. Have you got the 12 to hand?
Hey, we could do comparison.
Get it, and then we can see what some people in the chat might prefer the 12 to the 16, so we can do a little comparison.
I'll get my 12. Just a second.
Yeah, you're going to get it, right. What's your opinion, guys, on between the 12 and the 16? Because we've got a little bit of an online battle going on now, which we didn't expect. Which one would you imagine would be the best? We have no idea. So
Paul is asking us if we've heard this blind yet.
No, Paul, this was something I was going to address. We were going to address this.
This is a whole nother area.
Yeah, I know we've had them a while, and we have definitely still got them. We haven't touched them yet. We did a blind tasting with spirits people and struggled, to be honest. Yeah, it wasn't. It was great.
We were out of our depth.
But
we're not out of our depth. It was a bit nerve-wracking.
We were.
It was a bit nerve-wracking for us.
We kind of. We can't enjoy the whiskey because we're trying to analyse it so much and try and not look stupid doing it. So it's kind of, we want to get the most out of the samples that you've sent because we appreciate it so much that you did.
So Paul, they are safely there.
They are there.
We haven't touched them.
Yeah.
That will be a whole nother video thing. Yeah, definitely. We are saving those.
Yeah, but we want to do them justice.
Yeah.
So
we're not quite ready yet.
Bear with us.
Yeah.
And we will get to them.
But rest assured, they're there.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it because it was something I wanted to address. That we've had a few samples from other people. If we're not trying them today, it's not for the.
And to be fair, we had quite a few, didn't we? So we literally tried to pick a good mixture.
Yeah.
From lots of different people that have sent. We have been gifted a lot of samples, so we are very thankful for that.
Yeah.
So we tried to do a random selection.
It's trying to pick 5 different ones that kind of range different prices and things like that.
And that you might have as well. We wanted to
And it's hard when the blind samples because we don't know what they are, obviously. So
that's a whole different video. We want to save those.
It off in a different direction. So it's one of those. We've had some off Gregoire as well. But we're going to do that in a different way as well. So
this is a bit of a random selection from actual samples, not blind tasting, just actual samples. Because we thought as well people might have some of these in their collection.
Absolutely.
So this is the Balvenie. Now you all know I do like a Balvenie.
Yeah.
I've never had a triple cask.
No.
So that'll be really interesting.
So what would you, Matt, would you think yours is going to be nicer than ours?
That smells beautiful.
The 12, Balvenie 12.
Yeah. Have you tried the 16?
No, I haven't. What casks is it in?
Triple cask it says. It doesn't say Let me bring the picture back up and see if it gives us any more information on it.
I can just look it up.
More
It's
information.
probably bourbon, sherry, and then reinvigorated bourbon.
Yeah.
It smells
No, it doesn't say that.
absolutely beautiful.
I think it's on the image that I was putting on Instagram with all the different
Let me
comments.
just look it up.
It's
Look
so
it up.
sweet.
Look it up.
Yeah, that's
That's
instantly
really
sweet.
nice. Yeah.
Oh, it's really expensive for me here. I can see.
I think I know some of the ones that we've been sent are really expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, people send us samples and our knowledge just isn't there enough. We look at them and we think it doesn't really matter. It could be a £20 bottle or a £300 bottle.
It says here it's first fill bourbon, refill bourbon, and sherry.
Okay, so that's right up our alley.
So a fresh bourbon cask, a tired bourbon cask, and a sherry cask. But 16 years, that's a pretty good age for a whiskey. And I think, in my opinion, when it comes to these Speyside whiskeys, I think when they are young, I think Islay and peated whiskeys should be young, and Highland and Speyside whiskeys needs age because the spirit in itself is so light and fruity and fresh. Where my preferred Highland and Speyside whiskeys, especially Speyside whiskeys, that is only exclusive bourbon casks, that needs some time, in my book at least, to like 15, 16 years plus to get that depth.
Yeah. So what's the 12? Is it just
at 40?
40.
Yeah.
This is 40 as well.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But I love the bottle. I think the bottle is beautiful.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Nice bottles, aren't they? Just classic.
I am getting like real, like vanilla
Have
and
you gone
cake.
to the taste?
Yeah.
There's no holding her back, is there?
The vanilla-y, when you get a cake, like a sponge cake.
Yeah.
Get that vanilla-y.
Yeah.
Subtle but really nice, like expensive vanilla, not fake vanilla. Like the vanilla, Madagascar vanilla extract or something.
Yeah, fancy vanilla.
Vanilla. It doesn't taste like a vanilla milkshake.
That is instantly kind of more.
That's so easy
complex,
to drink.
isn't it?
That's so nice, though. Yeah, it is complex. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I prefer this over the.
Matt, ours is so much nicer than yours, mate.
Mine's bigger than yours, man.
It's just like a sponge cake, like really nice.
Before we carry on, if you want to enter into the competition, there's still time. If you want to win the bottle of the 50.2. I'm going to go across. Yes, all you've got to do is just email us. Give us your name. I'll put you into the draw, which will be drawn in a bit, and you can win that along with some other swag as well. We've got, I think it was 11 people in the mix at the moment. So if you want to add your name to that, just email us, same email address. I'll bring it up again and you can email us. Just send it there.
Multi-haggis muncher. Vanilla essence, yes, but nice, really quality one. When you make a cake, you can have vanilla essence, which is like Sainsbury's own brand, or you can have the really nice vanilla extract, which is just a bit more concentrated.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's more extract than essence.
Okay.
A really classic, if you're having Victoria sponge or something, it's that really, because it's not just subtle, fakey, it's really nice. There's a really nice, it's lovely.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Because
Nick likes the Caribbean.
Whiskey Trials is saying
this is completely different.
Double. No, I agree.
Say that again.
Whiskey Trials is saying not a fan of the Balvenie Doublewood, but love the Caribbean cask. I agree with that.
Yeah.
This tastes nothing like Caribbean cask, but there's something about Balvenie that I just find nice to drink.
Yeah.
And when you find a whiskey nice to drink, I struggle with lots. There's just an instant. I can drink this. There's a bit of me that goes, yay! I can drink this. I don't pull that back. When you swallow it and you just go.
That's what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. Who gives a crap about fancy tasting notes and stuff like that? If you enjoy your whiskey, then it doesn't matter how expensive it is or how old it is or how cheap it is. What appeals to you is what appeals to you. You know, that's just the fact of it.
Yeah.
But when you're starting out, you don't feel that, do you? And I definitely felt a lot of pressure because I think I really wanted to drink whiskey and found it so tricky. So I felt quite intimidated. So actually, that's really nice what you said, that you can.
Yeah.
There are whiskies you can drink.
Luna Aaron is saying there is black vanilla powder that has an amazing vanilla aroma.
Oh,
never heard of that.
I've never heard of black vanilla powder.
No. But one thing we did have at that tasting the other day was black. Was it charcoal?
Oh, cheddar.
Charcoal cheddar.
Oh my
you ever heard of that?
days.
No.
It was like cheese, which is
black,
pitch black,
completely black.
But it's
so creamy.
Amazing.
It was lovely.
I tell you what.
Yeah, I looked today for you at the food festival, but there was none there.
I haven't been able to find it, but it's amazing. We've got to get some.
Cheese and whiskeys is a good pairing.
Yeah, definitely.
Greg's saying there's a Cuban one as well. So I've had the Caribbean. Right. He's saying there's a Cuban one.
Cool.
That sounds good. No, I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen that at all.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you a question, Matt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that you can be a distillery fan and like every release that they release?
Ooh, controversial.
Or are you kidding yourself by thinking that you do?
Well, I know where you're going. I know what you're going for, but I think it's a very subjective question because, you know, I like, let's say, Talisker. Not a lot of people will agree that all Taliskers are great, and I know the Talisker Sky is nothing to compare to like Port Ree or Distiller's Edition or the cask strength one or whatever. But to me, I have never tasted a Talisker I wouldn't be happy to buy a bottle of.
Yeah.
That's why it sits as one of my favorite distilleries, just like Lagavulin does.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's tricky because if you love everything a distillery is doing, then I guess you love what that distillery is doing. I guess it speaks to you in a different way than just a bottle of scotch, you know, or whatever. I think it's something that it's a level deeper than that, where you identify with the distillery and the people behind it and stuff like that. And I feel like that with like Talisker. I'd love to have everything with Talisker, independent bottlings, whatever.
Meet your palate. You know, there's something about whatever they do, it is your palate.
Yeah, but I'd say this. I would say if you buy, like, there's a distillery that has like 10 different expressions and you love 7 of them. But the last 3 is sort of like, but I love this so much. Is that buying the idea of that you need to buy all the whiskeys to be the one who's like the Balvenie fan or whatever? I don't think you need to be fan of everything a distillery does and still hold it as your favorite distillery, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
I don't think you need to.
People are in the chat. Whiskey trials, absolutely. Never had a crap Talisker.
Yeah.
They're agreeing with you.
But I haven't had a Talisker. So is there a core flavour that brings?
I think Talisker brings, to me, it's like the perfect mix between ocean, smoke and peat aggression, and fruity Highland. It's just a great, you know, try.
And that's all they do.
I think there is absolutely a character of the spirit that runs through Talisker that is like a thumbprint, you know, by the makers of it. You know, Talisker is a whiskey I can drink all the time, no matter what mood I'm in. Whereas something like Lagavulin, for example, I need to be a bit more in the mood for that peat punch in a way.
Because it's the consistency.
They're
saying if it's consistent, you're going to like all of the ones. Andy C, hello Andy C, I don't know who you are,
Andy C,
but he's saying that he's drawn to, like, for example, Billy Walker distilleries. He has that's his thing. So there's a thing there. People are liking
So
distilleries.
here's another question before we get on to the next one. What is the most unreliable distillery?
Wow.
One that is a big name but can't keep that kind of consistency. Would you say? That's to the chat and to you, Matt.
Wow. I'm looking at my collection to try and figure out what.
Because there are some that you've bought that you think you know there's some amazing whiskies, and then you try one and you don't like it. So they've had maybe a missteps or changes to the formula, or you know, not every distillery is kind of perfect.
No, not every distillery is flawless and just, overlapping with consistency. Not every distillery is doing that. To me, I haven't been,
Sure.
balls deep in a particular distillery to know through the ages, through the times, and different variations of the same expression to know where the pitfalls are. I haven't done that, so I wouldn't be able to say, but there's absolutely, like Glendronach, for example, with the 15 Revival. They had a 15-year-old which had a lot of old stock in it. And then all of a sudden they pulled that, and a year later or something like that, pretty recently, they released that Revival again with less aged stock, and it's still a 15-year-old, but the older version had 20-year-old whiskey in it, because Glendronach closed down at some point, and then they still released whiskeys, and that was older, blah blah blah. So there was absolutely a jump in consistency, but I haven't heard anyone say that is a bad thing. It's still great whiskey as far as I know. I haven't tried it yet. But I think, well, it's tricky because some distilleries do batch releases where they only do whiskeys that is like, we have distilled this spirit, put it into these kinds of casks, and we will release this whiskey as only this closed thing. This is batch 7. Then you have batch 9, which is a bit different and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think it all comes down to what you like, basically, and I don't know. Save me. I lost my train of thought.
What
people are saying, Macallan, for sure.
Macallan,
And I mean, consistent.
I think Chris from the Last Drop wants to jump in a minute and have a chat, so that'll be cool. What's your opinion on all the rebranding that seems to be going on at the moment, or the negativity towards that? I mean, you've got Aaron, which have just released a new kind of look, and then you've got Balblair, which seem to get a lot of backlash from their kind of rebottling and branding.
I think, if you look at the old, like, Balvenie bottles, they were completely different than this. This is not something that looked like forever. This is pretty recent. The older one were like small, fat bottles with thin necks, all like cognac bottles and stuff like that. I think it's just, a product of the times, Aaron is catching up speed. They need to, symbolize something that is maybe, a bit more romantic and historical and stuff like that. They play it down a bit. I don't know. I really don't care that much about it. I think what Highland Park has done to their bottlings makes it look cheap. But that's just my opinion, with the Viking engravings.
They're trying to be contemporary, aren't they? They're trying to jump in on the Game of Thrones bandwagon without going Game of Thrones, aren't they?
Yeah, maybe. And it also plays into their Viking heritage and stuff like that. But I just think it's a step down to make those bottles look that way. But once again, it's not something that pisses me off in any way. But I can still look at a bottle and think, why did you take that route?
People are saying as well that Dalmore and Jura are also candidates for brands that are doing things boringly, like the same old, same old. It's almost like, it's just not.
Yeah,
really
but they're still consistent.
Yeah.
Consistently boring.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but they are consistent.
Yeah, I think the one thing I do like about the Aaron bottles or the new bottling is the braille on the label.
Yeah, they're good for blind tastings.
See what you did there.
Yeah. People are also saying some of the the Bell Blair backlash was because they increased the prices as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
the
you
thing.
rebrand
You know,
and
don't
expensive.
rebrand stuff with the same liquid inside, and then we need to
Yeah.
put more glass and
Well,
paper
that's
on
what
it.
the phone thing was,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Same whiskey.
That's trying
Yeah.
to take advantage of the fact that whiskey's coming into vogue a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
They know that they can see what's happening and they're just trying to capitalise on it. And unfortunately, you gain market share with new people,
Because you do.
but not the old people or the old guard kind
Or the
of thing.
people that have been buying this for years because they like the whiskey,
Yeah.
and then they go, oh, the packaging, and you've added 30 quid to the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that last drop? Yeah, I think the last drop's going to jump in a bit.
I
Have you emailed him back, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we'll move on to the next one. This one isn't actually from a social media guy. This is actually from a friend of mine. It is the Strathoila 12-year-old. You ever had this, Matt?
No.
No. I don't think it.
Me neither.
Knowing my mate, it's probably Tesco's job.
Let's just.
But we'll give it a go.
Yeah.
He loves the bargain, does our Terry. So let's bring that one up.
Cheers,
It
Terry.
is. We are going in for this one.
Which one have you gone for?
Strathoila 12. Let's get rid of the banner. So we got that one.
From Terry D.
From Terry D. So yeah, so this is this. So we'll go in for that one. So you haven't got this one now?
No, I have coffee and water.
Oh, you just have to listen to us on this one then, won't you?
Oh yeah, I need to trust
We
you.
will, I'll bring you out for a minute, and just in case Chris comes in, and then we'll get back to you in a bit, if that's all right, Matt.
Cool. Thank you for having me on so far.
You'll be back on again, I'm sure. So give us a second. We'll bring Chris in once he's up and ready. Cheers for your time, my man.
Absolutely.
We'll bring you back in before the end so you can give yourself a little plug. You're more than welcome to. Catch you in a bit.
Take care, guys.
Okay, guys, so this is the Strathoila 12. Don't know much about this one either. So
it smells nice. I like the smell of it.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
There's a malt smell there.
Private, I've got a couple of messages on private chat. So
yeah, that mean I sent it. Definitely.
Sent. Yeah, you sent it, yeah. So hopefully Chris from the
come
last
on, Chris,
drop
we're
will be
happy
here
for
in a
you
minute,
to join us.
if he can get himself sorted out. I know he doesn't necessarily do StreamYard. He does his own version, so maybe he's having trouble with that. So what should we be nosing on this, guys? Anybody got any guide for us?
Do you know what? That's surprisingly good. It's definitely malty. I can taste the maltiness. That's all right. It's not harsh. It's surprisingly good, isn't it? I quite like this.
It's smoother.
Yeah. It's smooth and malty.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yes, isn't it? It's
very
smooth,
much so.
yeah. I like this.
Yeah, it's easy. Easy to on the palate. Probably disappears quite quick. I'd say the
very quick.
Kind of
the finish is gone.
Goes
but
straight away.
There's like a spiciness to it. I like the spice there.
Right.
Gregoire, that makes perfect sense. There is a malt. There's a spiciness.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's like a
Gregoire, you need to come in the chat, mate. You need to come and help us.
We need your help.
Come and join us. We got time. We need you. We need you to help.
I'm thinking this. You know, you get the sultanas. It's subtle, but there's like a cinnamony, mixed spicy thing going on.
Definitely, it's
that's quite nice.
It's got, like you say, it's a spicy kick to it.
Yeah, like a fruity spicy, like cinnamon, nutmeg.
Yeah, Christmassy. It is Christmassy, isn't it? It's very Christmassy.
So easy to drink, that is. I like that.
Isn't it bad that we was expecting it to be bad?
Yeah,
because
he's not a whiskey bloke at all.
Well, he is. But
will he be watching on YouTube?
I hope not. Not now.
Terry, this was lovely. We really like it.
Yeah. Cut. Yeah, it's an amazing whiskey. Best I've ever tasted.
He does buy a lot of whiskey. He just
Yeah.
doesn't do whiskey the way we do whiskey.
I think he does. He likes whiskey, and
he'll buy a bottle and drink all of the bottle, and then he'll buy another bottle and drink all of the bottle, won't he?
I think he's willing to learn on it. So
Yeah.
I think
I'm impressed with that.
He's kind of exploring his avenues.
Strath Isla.
Yeah.
That was nice. It is
good.
nice, yeah. This is nice.
And this is the base liquid for
Greg said, oh,
Chivas
wait,
Regal.
guys. Greg is
Is Greg going to come in?
Chivas Regal. Wait. Greg was going to bed about an hour ago.
Was it?
He's
Come
had a
on,
long
Greg.
day. He's
Come
been
on.
somewhere and he's going to bed. And
Greg,
clearly he hasn't. He's stayed over.
Come on, Greg. Come in. We'll send you the link. Send us an email. We'll send you the link.
Luna Aaron said she's never had this one, but she's had an old Chivas from the 80s. Oh, from the 80s. What was that like, Luna? Was that
Was it
good?
the same?
Oh,
Who
maybe.
knows? Who's hog?
I've recently
Bear?
had a whiskey from the
That's a new one.
80s. And this is going to sound ridiculous, but you've got to remember we're new dram drinkers. I didn't realise, I kind of knew, but I didn't know. Whiskey doesn't age in the bottle. So even if you have a bottle from the 80s,
Chris is in.
and it's a 12, can I just finish this?
Yeah.
Even if it's a bottle from the 80s and it's a 12-year-old, it's always going to be a 12-year-old. I kind of didn't know that, but I know there's more to it because it's one from the 80s. It's not like last year's 12-year-old. And it was like the most kookiest, vintagey bottle, but it was so good because I was like, oh my God, this is something from the 80s. I'm an 80s chick. You know, when there's something really nice about that.
Yeah.
So Luna, was your experience better because you knew it was a bottle from the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like an
always
interesting
hard,
concept,
because,
isn't
like,
it? Yeah.
We had I've got a friend who's got his partner's dad has got literally a barn full of whiskies that are all old. Literally sent me the video today of all the ones that he wants to sell, and it's hard to look at all the old bottles that say 12-year-old, knowing that they're from the 80s or whatever it was.
Definitely.
But to think that it's still only 12 years old, because the bottles are all covered in cobwebs and dust, and it just doesn't seem right that it's the same age, does it? Does that sound stupid?
But it's so exciting because it's from the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't been opened until just.
Yeah, it's still a
That's
vintage.
what I like.
It's a vintage bottle.
And we went to a whiskey tasting recently, and the cherry on the cake, shall we say, was a bottle from the 80s that you can't buy now. And he literally Googled it and was like, if you bought this now in auction, it'd be £900. Yeah. And then he just shared it. And we were like, my God, he's sharing this £900 bottle with us. Yeah. Because...
And we should give him a shout out to him. Whiskey Pete.
He's not on social media.
He's not on social media. He's just a lovely guy who
shares his whiskey and has so much knowledge. If you watch some of our Instagram stuff.
Awesome.
But you know, when you just feel, I'm not saying the whiskey was amazing or brilliant, but the fact that you cannot buy that whiskey now, and that's a £900 bottle, and he just freely shared it, was so humbling and exciting and special, and it was brilliant. It was such a good experience.
Epitome of
oh God,
sharing whiskey.
Generosity, like literally, like and you know, like just have some.
It was amazing, really.
It was amazing. A good,
So
I feel Chris, I get you.
You're with us, Chris. Gonna bring you in. Here he comes. Get ready, everyone, for Chris from The Last Drop. Whoa! Again, doing amazing things on YouTube. He's got his own channel. Check him out. He's changing kind of how he's doing things. He's just updated his studio where he's recording and things like that. Up-leveling himself, and he's doing great things. He does cognac and all kinds of different things. So it's a great channel, well worth looking at. So everybody, welcome.
Come on, Chris, join us.
There he is. The Last Drop.
I put my tripod on chairs.
Did you really?
That's what I've done. That's my studio up leveling, is putting my tripod on chairs.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. You?
Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad. What are you drinking?
I've got Lefroy 10. From Sainsbury's. £28. Nice.
It is
Right,
what it is.
that's-
Go for the
that's-
shit, yeah.
That's what we're all about, mate.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about. What's been going on with you then lately?
Working mainly, and yeah, drinking lots of whiskey.
You did that recently, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to London and Bimba week before last, wasn't it? And then then off to whiskey show on Sunday, next Sunday even. So
That's the London whiskey show, isn't it?
yep, the big one. 941, I think, whiskeys on the list, which is.
You gotta, you got to go in steady.
You've got to use spit buckets.
Yeah, absolutely, right. Which stalls would you make a beeline for?
Kilkerran.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed their 12, and Stuart Whiskey Whims obviously sent me a sample of the 8-year-old cast strength. I think it was. Oh no, it was heavily peated. Sorry, I'm completely wrong about that. But yeah, he sent me the heavily peated, and that was awesome as well. So yeah, I probably might go for them first. So it goes. But obviously, you don't want to start off peated, which is, we'll see. I'm going with Toby from Whiskey Shared, so we'll see what happens.
I think Johnny's going to be there as well from Speeds People. So
Johnny's going to be there, I believe. There's going to be actually lots of people there, I think.
Is Vin going?
Vin's not going, no, because he's doing
He's going
gathering the Texas, isn't it? So.
Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? He'll come back with some good memories and footage of it. We'll be there one day.
Yeah.
Flying out to Texas. You never know.
Yeah, only steers and queers that come from Texas.
Can I just really quickly say hello and goodbye to Welsh Toro? Thank you for popping in.
Thank you,
I know you've got to go, but
cheers, Welshy.
Yeah, and I'm hoping Greg as well gets an email out to us soon. He was going to
he was going to leave about an hour ago because he was tired, and he's still here. Come on, Greg.
He drank loads of whiskey today or something, so he was feeling it in his head or something. He was chatting with Luna about it. But.
He's either hit the sack or he's hitting his laptop to try and get online with us any minute. So fingers crossed he will be with us soon. So it's who we got now? Matt's got his new Drum Drinker t-shirt on now. So do you want to join us, Matt?
The brand.
Give us the thumbs up if you want to join. There you go. Should we bring him in as well? Yeah. Let's bring him in.
Yeah.
There you go.
It. Flash the match.
There you go. Look at that. So, what do you think to this whole stream?
Oh, buddy.
Hard beans as you were more a OBS, was it?
Yeah. So it's interesting to see the different format and such. It's quite cool that you can see. I can see everyone, obviously, so I can see you and Matt down the bottom. And then the chat on the right, which is cool as well, isn't it? So I don't know if I can do anything with that. No.
It's got
Nelson, you got.
He's not joining us.
He can't connect. He's just going to stay.
Greg's having trouble with his
Luna.
So he's going to stay in the chat. I think there's lots of things to be said for the way that you were doing it. I think it's is it a free platform, the OBS?
OBS is free, yeah. Open source broadcasting software. So
yeah. So I think
it's pretty cool. And then you just use Skype, or I'm not sure whether you can use like Messenger, because Messenger's obviously got a video type feed in it as well. Yeah. Or it used to when it was like back in Hotmail or MSN. Remember MSN Connect or whatever it was? I used to talk to my mate all the time over in Canada with that. So.
You're the oldest ones out the lot of you. Of course you remember MSN.
I remember sending letters.
So I mean, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, which platform you use to get out to everyone. As long as it is good and you're having a good time, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah. Definitely.
Just about putting out good content. And
Paul wants to know how he can get a t-shirt.
Oh,
I feel like I want to set you a challenge.
Paul, what size are you, Paul?
I feel like I want to say.
Ask him what size he is.
I feel like I want to set him a challenge. So.
Does Paul mean one of my t-shirts? I think Paul means one of my t-shirts. You can click the link below in one of my videos, Paul.
Chris is like sales mode.
They're very Mark Sling will vouch for them.
I
They're
think
very,
he's
very good t-shirts.
be lost.
Yeah, Chris, you got it out.
Yeah.
Ironically, you're the ones breaking up. I don't know what it is about that.
So, our next, we need to get on with these drams, otherwise we're going to be here forever. Has anybody
We
got?
want drunk Dave.
Yes. We've got the spring bank. We'll bring this up next. We will see. It is the spring bank. This is a special one, to be honest.
That's not
Aaron.
Master of the
That's Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Glasses, Anthony. Glasses.
My mistake. We have got the spring bank.
Spring bank.
Spring bank. There we go. I've gone a little bit out of order.
Oh, that's it.
Have you had this one before, anyone?
No,
You haven't had that one either.
I had a lot. No, I had a lot of spring bank samples sent to me from the Pilgrim, and when I had tried all of them, which kicked my ass and converted me like a virgin,
Yeah.
I poured them all together and created the ultimate spring bank, and it's fucking amazing. Sorry, I don't know if you can say that on your channel.
It's a children's show, Matt.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, my friend.
Good night, kids.
We're on to, you know what? I've got all these banners set up and I'm completely out of like sync now. So
Yeah, that's because we've been drinking, Dave.
yeah, it'll get worse as we get on, trust me.
Yes.
Sample number 5, I think it's number 4. So it's Springbank Fresh Cherry Cask. So yeah, this one, Chris.
No.
No, never. Do you like Springbank in general?
Yeah, I've had a couple of spring banks. They're nice. Yeah, I've got Hazelburn on the go at the moment, 14 Oloroso.
They're
That's
quite,
really nice.
they're quite highly thought of, aren't they?
In fact, didn't I send you a sample of that?
No, you've only sent me one sample, I think, Chris. I think
Really?
you sent
Got that white stuff.
the Freud or something like that. It was a peaty one for a pack. But yeah,
Oh, I sent you car strength Brockwurst, didn't I?
I think something like that. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet, but this one is very dark, isn't
Yeah,
it?
definitely.
We're cutting out, are we? Quite badly.
We're just a bit.
You're a bit gritty.
Big gritty. Don't know why, but we'll carry on
I have
regardless.
the wrinkles anyway.
It's making
Can you hear us?
Oh, well, yeah, sort of can hear you.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
So I'm going to say, so I set Paul Gibbs the challenge to say something nice and tell me his size. Me t-shirt. He said to me, extra large. So
Oh,
I've
got
sent him
extra
a
large.
text saying, that'll do it for me. And
Yeah.
I could do Blanche
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Send,
tell him he's got.
send DM us your deets and we'll.
Paul, send
Send
us your
you a
details,
t-shirt.
mate. We'll send you a t-shirt. We've got one for
Yeah,
you.
I love it.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
Thank you, Hoggy Bear. He's going. Bye. Thank you for joining us.
What percentage is that?
So what are we drinking now?
This is
Springbank.
Springbank,
Ooh, 8-year-old
56.3.
fresh sherry.
Bank.
56.
Nice.
Do you know
sounds
anything
really-
about how fresh sherry cask it is? Is it like sherry cask that's still sloshing around, or is it just like freshly dumped sherry cask?
I would imagine it's got sherry in it. They normally buy them with sherry in it, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
But how long do you leave them out?
Yeah.
Because I don't assume they can fill it with liquid inside still.
yeah.
Because then you're
Very
basically
strong.
mixing two liquids, sherry and whiskey, right? Or is that a loophole that's allowed?
It's very strong. Very,
It smells- Have you
56.3.
tried it?
But it's
Yeah.
strong.
It's not that strong.
Really fruit.
Long for us.
Ooh.
We've only had 40% up till now.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it though.
So what's your next video you've got coming out, Chris?
There's more cognac, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Not afraid. Everybody should be drinking cognac.
When's that coming out?
Friday, every Friday.
Cool.
You release every Friday. I'm pretty. pretty keen on that. Pretty level. I think it's going to be. Memory serves me. Can't remember. There we go. That was awesome. Great bit of live session TV there.
So why with you going more cognac, or is it just a phase you're going through at the moment, or
just a phase? You make it sound like I'm a 14-year-old boy. I'm just dabbling in cognac, yeah. Just
yeah.
Well, no, obviously I've been doing cognacs since the beginning. In fact, I believe my first video was cognac. So, being the last drop, I'm not confined to whiskey. But even though whiskey is one of my favorite things, and I'd have majority of whiskey, and I've done majority of whiskey, but I don't know. Yeah, cognac's a good thing. Really like it. It's quite well underrepresented on YouTube, and I think it's just one of those spirits that everybody sort of needs to at least try, or at least get out there and try. I mean, there's loads of different ones. I think soon we'll be. I'm doing a live with Johnny in the beginning of October. We're going to do a cognac blind tasting as well, so that's going to be cool. Little surprises in nice blinds.
Are you doing cognac with Johnny?
Yeah.
That's cool. Has he done cognac before, or is it a first thing?
Yeah, Johnny's done cognac. I mean, the first time we met Johnny was at the cognac show back in April. So
okay, yeah. So he's a bit. He knows his way around a cognac.
Yeah, I think he's like all of us. I mean, he's only just really getting into it, I don't think. But it's.
Well, I mean, he's doing well, isn't he, with regards to...
Yeah, he really likes developing his palate, like I think we all do. He's got a thing for bananas, which is just stupid. I hate bananas. And then, Greg doesn't like me wearing a hat, which is more a case that my hair's in there most of the time.
You will look older, not 14.
Huh?
Can I say that multi-haggis mistress said if we add water, that's all we use. So I've added water.
Yeah. This was sent in by. Let me think.
Gregor said
this was sent in by.
Fresh means first fill.
For the worms, I'm not too sure. Is he still in? He was. I think he was in it originally, Matthew.
Chris?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a cognac-related question?
Sure.
Have you any experience with the Renault Avec?
No. Who?
He's got a t-shirt.
The what? How do you say that? The car Renault.
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 They have the one called Avec, AVEC.
All right, yeah.
Have you tried that one? Because I passed by at a couple of stores now, and it looks pretty good.
Renault make a cognac? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
What?
I'm
going to send you a picture right now.
Oh, yeah. Renault cognac.
RENAULT.
The car?
Yeah.
The car?
The car manufacturer, yeah, Renault.
Yeah, maybe it's just oil spillings they fill into bottles. I don't fucking know.
Are you going past Halfords?
What?
Yeah.
Or Quick
I think
Fit?
probably on the same shelf as full cherry.
I've honestly never heard of a Renault cognac. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it, though? I mean, it's probably like they'd probably get a... one of the big boys or a small distillery to bottle something for them.
Yeah, yada, yada, yada. I'll just send you something. Oh,
Okay.
God.
Where is it?
Wrong,
What do you send it on?
Facebook.
On Facebook?
Probably
Just a second.
We're all going to see it now. We're all looking.
Sorry about that, guys.
Hijack the stream, fine.
Absolutely. Chris, where are you?
I'm going to say I've added water to this. I've added water to this, and it's still really, it's still
Right,
really
yeah.
hard to drink.
Chris Moore.
Oh, so your address again.
I've said, he said, "Are we old enough to drink?" And I said to him, "You know what?
Here you go, Chris.
That's it."
I am actually large. If you are extra large, I've got one. So
Not the areas.
Technology.
yeah. So send me your address again. I know about it. Send me again just in case, and I'll get back to you. ASAP.
Yes, a great
Renault.
Reno.
You got it. Is that a real
Well, it's
thing?
funny because Greg's saying it's Reno. I'd say that's Reno as like the American.
Yeah. A rhino.
Oh yeah. There you go, everyone. Reno.
And Matt was right.
Well, we didn't say you were wrong.
You hinted at it. I could see it.
You're
Competition.
just like, well,
Look at this. It's all getting very aggressive.
never heard of it. Interesting. I wonder who bottles it. I wonder who.
I have no idea. Just passed it by. It looks really good. It's something about roasted coffee notes and stuff like that.
It was meetings. Back in the room. This is Alan. We need to get back to whiskey.
Sorry, someone said cognac. Cognac?
It's a shame Greg couldn't join it. It would have been good to have got Greg on. Okay, so we've had that one. That was
hard to drink.
it's one of those ones where it seemed hard, but I think it should be appreciated more.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Maybe.
You don't? No, too
It's
much
hard to
for you.
drink.
Too much for you.
Yeah.
So the last one is the Aaron 12 Master of Distilling.
From Luna.
So we'll bring that one.
He's bringing the damage.
Doing it
There
for
you
the girls. Doing it for the girls.
Oh, the single ladies. Oh, the single ladies.
Yeah. Well, we're not all single, but
Yeah.
we're
All
all
the ladies. All the ladies.
I must admit
Oh,
that Luna was
so generous, like literally.
yeah, she was,
When your parcel came through the post, we were like,
yeah.
so
I mean,
excited.
We had a selection of samples with a USB stick that had jazz music on to listen to
above and beyond
while we drank it.
Yeah.
So
and we have listened to it.
yeah, we have.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's like a Sunday morning playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's so good. Yeah.
It was just
Props
above
to
and beyond.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair play to you. It
Yeah.
was an awesome.
It was,
an
a,
awesome
it was a
package.
beautiful present. Thank you.
So, have you ever tried this, anyone?
Put your hands up. As if you're saying.
I haven't tried the Aaron, and I hear good things. I hear that they are
Independent.
Go on, Matt, carry on.
I hear that Aaron is.
Spoiler alert, Paul Gibbs.
We're not good.
I hear good things about Aaron. That was what I was about to say.
Right, okay. Yeah, our image has gone completely off.
I don't know why our sound and thing is not good.
Let me just drop one of you out and see if our image comes back.
We're all
I'll
blocking.
drop Matt off for now.
Yeah, thank
Matt, give us a step. I will be back in a second.
Good evening, Jason Whiskey Wise.
Is he back in? Is he? Yeah, so our picture's gone a bit dodgy, so I do apologise for that. But as long as you can hear us, that's all that matters, to be honest. Getting less good, guys. Some blur appears and we put some sound. Okay. We do apologise, so there's not a lot we can do, to be honest. It's all maybe down to StreamYard and internet connection. This is where Chris is thinking OBS works so much better.
It's where a cabled connection works.
Yeah, you just don't have the option on these laptops these days, I do.
Really?
No, on a MacBook Pro, and you can't put a
Well, there you go.
on the first time we've had a really dodgy connection, I must admit. So,
Do they not have Ethernet ports then, MacBooks?
no, nothing, no.
No.
Fine, that's it. You don't have the option. No, you can switch it off. It might make some difference, but it's so it'll switch that one off.
Tell the kids to get it off. Get the kids off the Wi-Fi. That's the key.
Yeah, we'll try and shut down on all the different Wi-Fi
Let me say hello
sections.
to Jason Whiskey White, who's just joined us.
Hi,
Thank
Jason.
you for popping in.
How you doing? You might as well say hello to Chris because he's the only one with a decent connection.
How's that Aaron doing then?
But it's.
Oh, I haven't even picked it up yet.
This is the one.
Oh, that smells nice. Oh, I'm liking that.
I mean, the Aaron. Is it the Aaron? I think it's the Aaron, isn't it? I mean, they come.
That's like really.
They have a good reputation, I think.
There's a huge smell going on there.
Yeah. I would imagine that she sent us this one because she.
It's a
knew it was
good one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking fruity. It's quite fresh, but like solid smell.
Yeah. You've not tried this one.
I enjoyed the Bimber video.
What did you think of Bimber in the end, Chris?
Bimber, amazing, mate. That first ram, the first is very, very nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you opened your bottle yet?
Say again.
Have you opened your bottle yet?
No.
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 You could win stuff.
He's saying
No, do it.
I am. Random Tuesday. Let's just open it, enjoy it. No.
I can't do it. I have to hold on to it for a little while, and then I'm going to open. I'm going to open the Signet.
Someday.
You don't need to. Stuart sent you a sample. I worry that you're going to be so disappointed with it.
Yeah, that could happen. So what?
Yeah, Bimber was awesome.
What did you think of the actual place? Was it a surprise to you as to what it was like?
The interesting burnt out car outside was interesting. But yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be like a small distillery. I knew it was. Obviously, I'd seen your videos and pictures of it, so I knew it was in a small warehouse as such. But obviously, I was a lot more surprised with the quality that was coming out. Yeah. The whiskies that Farid took us through were just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I don't know how much you got to try, but
all of it.
The stuff we got to try was just some of it mind blowing. We had that. Jason's probably tried it, but they've got Lefroy cask as well there, which they put stuff in, and that was so good. So good.
Yeah.
And then I think we had their next release, which comes out in October.
Yeah.
Which is the recharred stuff.
I like
not really technically recharred, was it? Because it's just been charred because some strange Germans decided not to post their barrels.
That's more affordable, I would say, though, isn't it? It's about, what, 68 quid or...
I think it was like 70, 80 quid, next one. I think, it's maybe still a bit pricey, but I mean, they're just starting out. They need to get their their money back and stuff like that. So, and people will buy it because it is London distillery and they're doing really well, and it tastes good. That's the main thing. I mean, it does taste good. And that tea gin, that was brilliant.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I think.
And I'm not a tea. I don't like gin. Well, I don't mind gin, but I like Earl Grey tea and all that kind of stuff. That was so good.
Yeah,
it was so good.
It's I love the ethos of the place.
Yeah.
It's kind of you
the
feel
whole
welcome.
Moonshine thing. It's like you believe him because his grandma did it and his great grandma, and it's like yay.
I think it's just nice to have a local distillery that is just starting out that you can actually get behind.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
That's all good, but if the whiskey was crap,
it
would be disappointing.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, they are doing it right. Definitely doing it right.
I think they're definitely they're putting their money where their mouths are.
Yeah.
And you can, the whiskey's 3 years old and it's maybe not as old as it should be for that kind of price, but when you actually buy a bottle of it and you've got the wooden case it comes in and everything, it does all. It's kind
And
of.
then when you open it and you taste it for the first time again,
It's just
like
yeah.
and then you hashtag it, and then you win the next bottle, because you've put
Mate, if you
open
know,
my bottle.
I've got a slight case of OCD where I can't open things straight away. That's why half the samples we've got, it's took us 3 months to get to, because
If we see it on Scotch whiskey auctions
yeah.
next Sunday,
Do you think the resale will be high on it, or?
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bottle in it. It'd be interesting to see if it is, but
I would
yeah.
imagine a few people will, won't they?
Well, I mean, the flippers are around, aren't they? You don't know who, people can buy a bottle and do whatever they want with it. But
yeah.
Obviously, they've been quite encouraging to try and get people to drink it, Dave. But
I have drank it. I've got samples.
Well, that doesn't count.
Why do I need to open the bottle when I've got a sample I can open instead? I just think I'm a little bit in a different way, that I don't drink it because I almost see it as sacred. It's like
yeah, I know what you mean. I
don't have £120 every day to spend on a bottle of whiskey.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's something that is a big deal to me. I probably had to work overtime at work to be able to afford that. So
that's like all your money for that week. It's
it goes into that category of I had to earn that whiskey. So it's something that I necessarily want to open straight away. I just want to enjoy it on the shelf, look at it, and just know that I've got to that point of buying it, because
where does Nikki sleep now? Because clearly that's got her spot in your bed. Sleeps down on the sofa, and there's just Dave just sleeping with his bimba. Hello.
But just saying,
she's happy.
Just saying, Jason gifted his bottle of Signet because one of his friends got married, and I was like, oh my God, you give amazing gifts. Just saying, we've been married 25 years next year. Just saying.
Yeah. Anniversary coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Big anniversary, like the biggest in the wedding kind of thing. Yeah.
So saying. Do you have you got any bottles you haven't opened, Chris? Or do you open everything?
I do actually, but not because I don't want to, but because I've only just finished one. I've got I've got 2 bottles of Blue Label up there.
2 bottles.
So what do you think to that? Hang on. 2? Hang on a minute. We need to bring Matt back into this conversation, because he's the Blue Label kind of. 1 second, Matt. Tell us what you think about the Blue Label. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Crap. Worst fucking money ever spent.
Hold back. Tell us what you really think.
Why is it crap, Matt?
No, it's not crap. That was just to be stupid. It's it's not a bad whiskey, but it's not what you expect it to be. Unless you have realistic expectations, I guess. I was disappointed. I was mad at myself for spending that amount of money on the whiskey. And I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Right.
This is a whiskey that is try before you buy. Absolutely.
Yeah. You should have asked. I would have sent you a sample.
You can buy the whole bottle, man. No, I just bought a 22-year-old limited edition Glenrothes for 1/3 of the price.
Yeah. And you prefer that by far?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'd say buy a bottle of Cragganmore 12 and you're basically in for what you get in Blue Label.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
So what have you not tried the Blue Label?
Pessimistic. down jump in your chat here. Sorry.
So saying to Chris, have you tried Blue Label anywhere else? Or
Oh yeah, I've done a bottle. I've had 3 bottles.
so and you enjoyed it? You obviously
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
To be honest, it's all right. It's all right. It's not a bad whiskey. In fact, towards the end of the bottle, it really did quite open up quite nicely. But it's not worth the money.
Yeah. Did you pay the price?
I didn't pay anything from. So.
Oh, that's why you enjoy it.
Yeah. That's why I enjoyed it, because they were free. Well, they're not free, but they're not.
Sean asked questions.
What?
They were my father-in-laws. So.
Thank you for popping in.
See you, Spirits people. Thank you for coming, mate. We appreciate your time.
Take care, Johnny. Had a good one, man.
Busy man.
See you later, Johnny.
Andy C is saying,
"Oh, put the cap off, mate. You know that I should have won that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you win one, or was that a Chinese fake?
Yeah.
Going back to the special bottle, Andy C is saying there is nothing wrong with having a special bottle.
No.
I totally agree with that. I'm just not sure Signet is the special bottle.
But it's not now, is it?
Yeah. And I am of the belief of, you have no idea how long we've got on this planet. You know, just don't save anything for a special occasion. You should just enjoy everything right now. So we have a different.
But you haven't got
spiritually
OCD.
ethos. No, spiritually. I am of guilty pleasures every day of the week. You know what I mean?
Eat cake, drink wine, drink whiskey.
Go for it right now, yeah. I'm spontaneous and I'm a bit more in the moment.
So you guys...
You'll hang on to it and enjoy it.
So you haven't opened your other 2 bottles of Blue Label, Chris, because you've tried it before and you're just holding on to them for a rainy day?
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I've not really... Because I've got... Obviously, on a journey, I tend to not buy bottles again, almost.
Yeah.
There's certain ones that I do. So, I mean, a Buffalo Trace I get pretty much most of the time. When I finish a bottle, it gets reordered. But there's some other things, like, I mean, I've got that Glendronach Portwood. I won't buy that again. The Hazelburn 14, won't buy that again. The Rock Oyster I will buy again. Lefroy 10 I'll buy again. But there's others, you know, that I get that I probably won't ever buy again, because I've tried them. But the Blue Label, I've tried it. They're up there. They're sort of semi mine, I guess, married into it, but they're really my wife's.
Oh, sorry, Mrs. Chris.
What are you doing? Luna has asked, Luna Aaron has said that she had a bottle of Red Label on a plane. Do you think that changes the taste?
Yeah.
On a plane? Yeah. Do you think
so? Basically, altitude, does that make a difference?
Who knows?
She
was on that was probably the only one on offer.
I would say that if you're on holiday,
you'd be so excited.
Any whiskey that you can have,
definitely,
that you maybe would just feed into that excitement.
I think so.
Because we went to Spain recently, and we went into one of the airport lounges, and their old fashions were like pre-made. But
however,
we still enjoyed them because we were on our way on holiday, and we were.
And it was 10 o'clock in the morning.
It was exciting, and it was 10 o'clock.
I've got my good outfit on and my good shades.
Yeah.
But you know that whole, you're there to enjoy the experience. I think there's something in that.
Whether altitude makes the difference, or whether just the experience of drinking.
Because you're in a good place, it's the experience of drinking it. And there probably wasn't anything else on offer.
What would you guys say?
Yeah, let us know.
What do you think? Part of the Mile High Dram Club.
Say again.
Does it make you part of the Mile High Dram Club if you're drinking whiskey?
Could be,
on a plane?
Could be, yeah.
I'd say I'll tell you a story about the worst whiskey that tasted absolutely amazing. It was. Do you know the Queen Mary blended Scotch budget bottle?
No.
It's like below Red Label in budget wise.
Oh, okay.
Me and my ex-brother-in-law were like cooking and having a dram and cooking and having a dram. And then after a dinner, we were sitting down in the couch and drinking and having a good time. My memory of that whiskey was the best whiskey in the world.
Yeah.
And it was purely because the scenario, the environment, having a good time, that was so impactful on how that whiskey tasted. So yeah, absolutely. Scenario. We are humans. We are vulnerable to being seduced. Our sensors can be impacted by outcoming, things coming into you. We are so manipulative when it comes to that.
Yeah.
We're so easy to influence.
Yeah.
And the way you look back on it, rose tinted glasses.
Yeah.
I've had a similar experience where I did a tequila evening. You know, the whole tequila shots, the limes, the lemons, and the salt.
Yeah.
I remember that evening fondly. Oh my God, if I sniff tequila now, it makes me want to be sick.
Yeah.
And I know we still do it, but I would not have a good night. But that specific night was the best night ever. Yeah.
There you go.
Definitely. Just for the record, Luna said it was the worst experience she had. She hated the red label whiskey on the plane. It was so horrible.
It didn't make it any better.
That was probably just the red label whiskey. That was nothing to do with the experience, just the whiskey.
I can't say that I've had I don't think I've had a whiskey when I'm on a plane, to be honest. It's not something that
No, we haven't. We've had them in the lounge in the airport, but not on the plane.
So I suppose we've done all the samples now, to be honest.
What was your favourite?
I don't want to pick one.
Oh, pick one.
Pick one.
I only had one I couldn't drink.
I would probably say the Aaron.
I like the Aaron. I did like the Aaron. Yeah.
I'll say I think the Springbank was nice.
It was nice, yeah.
But it was very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Yeah. And what was the second one?
The Balvenie triple cask.
Balvenie, see?
Yeah.
I like the Balvenie. I think the Aaron was probably my favourite.
Aaron,
thank you, Luna.
I think Luna,
thank you, Luna.
You win the
Bad experiences, because obviously the whole point of this is to try whiskies we wouldn't normally buy or we don't have. Yeah. That was a really great experience.
I think the Springbank will be one that I probably grow to like more on my own.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I know it's a bit too strong for you, but I think I could see myself sitting there. So yeah,
I think it'd be one of those ones that I find with a lot of those sort of bottles, especially like the Hazelburn and the Glendronach, you need to open them and spend time with them because they change week in, week out, just with the oxidization. It's
definitely. I mean,
samples are good, but when it comes to a whiskey like that, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
And you just need a bottle.
Yeah, 100%. It's your taste changed, don't they, over time? Because tried other ones since we've done reviews on YouTube, and I think I look back at the review we did, and I think that does not reflect how I feel about that whiskey now.
No.
Literally not that long ago, but your taste seems to change, or I don't know whether it's just situational or.
I think it's a bit of both, and I think for me, new dram drinker, obviously, in the last 6 months, I have gone like leaps and bounds. Like I kind of thought my journey would be like this, but it's not. It's been like this because.
Are you going to change your name to experienced dram drinker now?
In about 5 years' time. Yeah.
But you know, when you just like, I started this thing thinking I need to drink whiskey, otherwise I'm going to be a whiskey widow. Yeah. Like literally, that's what it is. But now I'm like, I actually enjoy it, and I can say I like this one, I don't like this one, and even my journey into peated, like in the last month, I'm like, I can actually drink this. Yeah. Not first drink, like end of the night, like subtle. I am like, and I noticed that, and I love that. It's like you can. You are evolving, aren't you? Yeah, it's really good. And I just love that we can drink the same whiskey we drank 6 months ago, but you pick up more and you can understand the complexities more. And that shows your journey, doesn't it? It's interesting.
I think it would be interesting to see a master blender who has done doing this for a long time, tasting whiskeys and rating them. go off whiskey for about a year and then come back,
Oh yeah.
how much would come back to him and how blind would he feel? Because
Yeah.
I have, been drinking whiskey for the last, what is that, like 8 years or something like that. And a year ago or something like that, I sort of not fell out of love with it, but it sort of became a backdrop thing in my life where I drank less than I used to, and it just became sort of an occasional thing.
Yeah.
When I got back into it, the tasting notes and experiences I had with a particular bottle were completely different from what I was experiencing in that moment. Like I was completely new to this.
Yeah.
Like I, like I knew I was conscious about. I knew I had to. There was these certain flavors and aromas I used to get from this glass, which was
Yeah.
not present anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it's like language and stuff like that, where if you don't keep going with it, you're eventually it's going to fade in a way.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. How much does like memory come into drinking whiskey? Would you think like a memory of where you were when you drank it, or just a situational kind of awareness of where you were when you enjoyed that whiskey? Do you think that plays a big part in?
I think it depends on the whiskey and what experience you have with it.
Yeah.
If there's a really strong connection to like a particular kind of whiskey, then you're probably going to get a bigger reaction.
Yeah.
Um,
What about your situational kind of, if you're in a bar and you're drinking whiskey and you're having a great night, and do you think that your experience of crappier whiskies can be accentuated just by the scenario that you're in?
Yeah,
at the time?
absolutely. That was sort of my point with the story I told before with the Queen Mary. But recently, I was at a bar with my good friend, and we'd just been to a show with our mutual favorite two musicians. Went to this sketchy place where it's sort of a cramped space and people smoke cigarettes inside as it like cut through the air. Walked up to the bar. They had Jameson, Glenfiddich 12, and Chivas Regal 12. And I remember that Chivas Regal,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it was a good night.
Yeah.
I put a thing on Instagram like yesterday about what's your like favorite memory of drinking whiskey, and people when they commented, like they described their experience like to a T. Like it's like where we were, what I was doing, what I smelled, what the weather was like.
It was quite
it's that whole
accurate, wasn't it?
sensory. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was the best whiskey in the world, but it's all of that. It hits all of your sensory perception.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It's in your memory.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of research done with memories and smells and things like that. So
Yeah.
good.
That's why you can pick up a glass and say library. What does
Yeah.
the library smell like,
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse is in. I just told him we were on here.
There you go. How you doing, Stillit? How you doing? Like, you all right? Nice to see you in. I think we probably need to get on to the giveaway.
Oh,
So,
Did I enter? I don't think I did.
David, you didn't enter.
yeah. So if you didn't
You
enter,
didn't enter. You can't win if you
No,
didn't
wait,
enter.
last one was shit.
You
you're only
enjoyed
in
it.
if you're in
It
it.
wasn't. This would be really, really good.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Being as you didn't enter, and I know Matt did, I'll let you pick a number, Chris.
Oh, cool. 1,322.
That's mine.
The deal was you had to be in the chat at least to be in the chance to win it. So I will give you the numbers to pick from, and if they weren't in the chat, I'll give them 7 days to react to it, and then if they don't, I'll pick
Just like
some.
The Ring.
So again,
Just like that movie, The Ring. 7 days. What are you going to do after 7 days?
7 days. So giveaway, yeah.
Dun.
Still it. Do you want the email address so you can enter now? You give you a chance to win. Let's put it back up quickly, and then you got 5 seconds to. No, that's not the one. It's the same email address as that though, so just email us to there, and you might be able to win. You're going to win a bottle of the 50.2 and some other bits and pieces, some other swag. So,
what's in the 50.2 this time?
Lots of other whiskies. Only the winner will know that, Chris.
Yeah, not telling you.
It's a surprise.
Why not? People want to know what's in their prize.
They don't care. It's a prize.
Is it all famous grouse again?
No, to be honest. There's no famous grouse.
It wasn't all famous grouse last time. If I remember rightly, there was.
There's also Dalmore in it, you know.
One.
I can guarantee you that there is some Bimber the First in there, though.
Nice.
So that's something.
Well, from the unopened bottle.
Yeah.
From the sample we've got. So I think we've given enough time now. So Chris,
yep,
you did enter. So pick a number between 1 and 11.
3.
3. That is, I don't think he's in the chat. Marek Domin.
Woohoo!
So unless he's
go Marek.
Draw another one, Chris.
I haven't seen his name in the chat, have you?
He doesn't have to be in the chat.
He did have to be in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, that was one of the deals. But we'll give him 7 days to respond, and if not, I will pick another number, or we'll get someone to pick someone else more deserving who was in the chat.
What a shame.
Oh, Marek.
Repay Marek.
Gotta be in the chat, Marek. Get in those comments down below, Marek, if you're watching on replay.
Get in touch. You've got 7 days, or someone else is getting it. So, Chris and Matt, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for your time.
Welcome. As always.
I know it's there you go. Paul's won a T-shirt, which could be the best prize.
I think he won a T-shirt. I think he schmoozed.
I think he schmoozed a T-shirt. What's that cap? What's the cap, Chris? What does it say? Go on.
Oh, that says Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse,
yeah.
Like Mickey Mouse, yeah.
So, Chris, here's your time to shine. Tell us about your channel. Tell the people who are watching your channel.
No.
What you got coming up. It's your time to shine. Tell people about your channel and what you've got coming up.
Come on. I'm pointing
right. My channel is The Last Drop. I do some lovely reviews and other bits and pieces on vlogging and things like that, on events. I want to do more events, hopefully do more of them. I've got loads of cognac reviews coming up, which you should all watch and go and try and stop drinking whiskey. I will also be doing some rums. I've got the Rum Fest next month. That's going to be cool. Whiskey show next Sunday. So watch out for a video on that. And I've got 10 tips for beginners as well coming up soon. So that's going to be cool.
Cool. Thank you for that, mate. We appreciate you joining in. It's been
a pleasure. That's The Last Drop.
Come on, yeah.
Everybody point at the screen. That's The Last Drop.
Yeah, point at the Cheers, Chris. It's been good chatting. See you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Matt?
Yeah.
On to my friend. What have you got coming up? And I know we've covered this once already, but go for it again. What have you got coming up? And explain your channel a little bit.
Well, people probably know me from Cask Made Everything Whiskey, but that is not active anymore. So you can find me on Ear Whiskey on YouTube, which is a podcast type channel covering all crooks and anything in the world of whiskey, not just reviews. I don't do reviews on the channel. It's about sitting down with a guest and interrogating them, having a nice chat about what they have some kind of expertise in. Recently just sat down with Jesse from New Zealand Stillet, who was just in the chat about home distillation, because that is legal in New Zealand. And tomorrow I'm sitting down with Roy. Everybody knows Roy from Aquavite, and hopefully a lot of other very nice and cool guests in the future. So yeah, if you have some time to spend and you have to do your dishes or you're just stuck on the toilet, head on over to Ear Whiskey and listen to what we are rambling about. That would be cool to have you.
And I can only say great things about your channel, mate. You've done. It's a different take on the site. You know, you've took what you were doing before and reinvigorated it,
molded it, haven't you?
And I feel that you're enjoying it.
So
other people are enjoying it.
Oh, that comes across that you are loving it. It fits in with you. It's a bit more fluid. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, that was hopefully the intention. So yeah, that's good. It comes across.
The opposite side.
If you aren't already following Matt,
do it.
Follow him.
do it.
Do it. Do it. Yeah. If you aren't already following Ear Whiskey on YouTube,
follow him now.
Give him a follow. Go straight there.
Why are you not following him?
No, not now. So don't leave us.
10 minutes.
Just give it 10 minutes and then go and follow. He's well deserving of it.
Thank you very much.
Deserves everybody's attention. So he's been nothing but kind to our channel. So
good.
Chris and Matt, thank you
later.
very much.
Bye.
Cheers, Matt.
Bye.
Boom. Take care, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to New Dram Drinker.
Cheers, man. Thank you. Back to us.
Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us for like a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't done live for ages, have we?
No,
but it's so much fun. I love the whole chatting with you guys. Like, it's just that whole, you can all be anywhere in the world. I just love connecting with you. I've never met you people in person, but I feel like you're part of my tribe. I have a big thing about tribes. I like tribes. I like people that drink whiskey, that share whiskey. I just love that whole, it's so much fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I know on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, I put on there about the followers and the Instagram followers and the YouTube subscribers and stuff like that. And I don't mean to do that with regards to kind of trying to show off. It's because it's not that great a number, but the people, I want to do it because this channel is you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
We make the videos.
We're not going to learn anything without you guys. We need you lot
to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
It's nothing without you guys that watch
we
them.
Love it.
Because if you don't watch them, there's no point in us making them.
And connecting, not just watching. Like, you're commenting. We're getting all those comments that you send us and go, don't do the 10, do the 12-year-old. Like, we literally write those down because we are like, we want to learn. Let's have the 10. Let's try the 12. What if we did this one? What if we did? We're not tasting this. We're not smelling this. We love all of that. We are like so enjoying
Nothing
it.
Goes
we love it.
Forgotten, does it?
Not at all.
We remember everything. So we've got like over 1,000 Instagram subscribers now, which is amazing.
And we are meeting people and speaking to people that we never, ever would have connected with before. We're loving it.
The YouTube subscribers are growing. That's
click that button.
I think we've had over 2,000 views on YouTube. So.
And let us know what you like.
Yeah,
we're
that's
so
what we want.
new to this.
We want to give you.
We're doing what we think
you
is
guys
fun.
Enjoy. So we're new to it. So we try to do what we think that you guys.
We're having fun. We're like not taking it too seriously. But if you see a video that you go, oh my god, you need to do more of those. We think they're funny, but you might not. Or we might go, nah, it was okay, and you're like, oh my god, that's amazing. Like, we can only go on the views, you know, and people like that.
And the
videos.
comments, it's mainly the comments. If you like it, let us know. Comment, let us know. And if you feel like putting a thumbs down, do that.
And let us know.
Explain why you did that so we can change things and just adapt to it. We don't mind the thumbs down. They're as informative as the thumbs up are. So do what.
We are just enjoying the whole whiskey world and we want your input, don't we?
Yeah, we've met many people who we've kind of would never have met. Chris,
we just love learning.
Matt,
we just love learning.
There's so many other people who are so welcoming. Gregoire, Aluna. there's Paul. I can keep on going.
Oh, there's loads,
You're always going to forget somebody.
Yeah.
So we
Shout
thank you.
us out. Contact us on Instagram and stuff. Yeah.
Like I said to you before,
definitely.
No Dram Drinker is you.
Yeah.
It's not just us.
Yeah.
Without you, No Dram Drinker doesn't exist.
We can't evolve, can we?
So we thank you for that.
Yeah, thank
we
you.
truly do. It
Thank
was just
you
a
so
dream
much.
when we started. It was an idea. It was a kind of a fanciful kind of.
And it's just
We just tried
exploded.
it,
It's brilliant.
and it's been great. So we thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I want to give a few shout outs to other channels that I think deserve it. You probably know most of them, to be honest. Greg's Whiskey Guide, Gregoire, he's such a lovely guy.
Yeah.
I can't say much
of
about
information.
him. Willing to share.
If you want to learn anything about whiskey, check out Greg.
Yeah, he's got his YouTube channel, his website. Just check him out. He's great.
Twitter. He's massive on Twitter.
Prestige Liquids. Andrew couldn't be here today. He's in Australia, so the time difference can play a difference. He's been away for the last few weeks, so he's been a bit quiet, but he's back now, so it will start up again soon. So check him out. Here, Whiskey Matt.
You saw him
earlier.
You
saw him already.
Knows so much about whiskey.
Yeah, I mean, this was just a dip in the ocean of what he knows. The Last Drop, Chris, great guy.
Yeah.
Similar kind of trajectory as us. He's growing every day.
Yeah. Big on social media.
Videos are adapting, so that's great.
Same as Vin, No Nonsense Whiskey.
Vin is Vin is massive compared to us. So, I mean, he doesn't need us to shout him out. He's got enough followers, it is, but he's been
local
helpful.
To us.
Lovely guy. Can't say more about him. He's just, I mean, if you're not already following him, you should be. So just get there and follow him. Whiskey Pilgrim, Frederick. Yeah, I mean, he's great as well. He's got a different take on it. He's got some great videos, different kind of style, a bit more of a rocky kind of intro and things like that. So give him a follow as well. He's uploading all the while. Whiskey Shared Toby. He's great as well. He's got he does a kind of reviews, more nosing, blind tastings and things like that. So he's worth a check out as well.
Same as Whiskey Wims.
Whiskey Wims Stuart is doing great things. He does really good, doesn't he? I mean, he does a lot of different. He's started into interviewing different people and things like that as well. So that's
cool guy.
Worth a visit. Then you've got the whiskey friend Alan. Which, I mean, his channel's gone. He's exploded.
But don't text him tonight because he's putting his towels out.
He's busy suntanning himself. So
love Alan. So generous. One of the most generous people I've known. Yeah.
He's a star.
It's all about the sharing.
He's a star. Bourbon and the Baby. Jay wasn't in tonight, but he's in America.
Yeah.
So
check
him out. It's different, as in he's brought his child into it.
Yeah.
So he talks about some things aren't whiskey related, other things are just baby related.
But if you want to know something about bourbon,
it's a good channel.
He knows it. Yeah.
It's got a different edge to it, which you need in YouTube. Yeah, so definitely. Check him out. Spirits People Johnny started off on Instagram, now moved or kind of added YouTubing, expanding in, which you should do.
If you want to know about how to get really good at tasting and that whole pattern memory thing, that's what we watch to educate ourselves. He's got the videos about how you learn.
It's helped us. So, which is all we can ask
and
for,
a really nice guy.
And I'm sure we've missed some.
We've missed people. There's loads of people, more.
So I think we're pretty much done.
Thank you so much for watching us.
I mean, thank you.
If you like us, hit the subscribe button. Like our videos.
Which you do. I mean, we know
we'll wait.
We know you support us. We can't thank you enough. We love the community that's growing, and we'd love to expand on that, create more of a community.
We love sharing our stuff. We have envelopes.
If you haven't had an envelope and you want an envelope,
we are happy to
then
share
you bring
our
up
envelopes.
the banner again. It's the same email address.
Just get in touch.
Ignore if you want to join us, the nodramdrink@gmail.com. Click on, send us an email to that you want to receive an envelope. You'll get a handwritten postcard, a coin.
Stickers,
it's our version of a coin. It's a token.
Postcards, bit of merch.
Little bit of merch. So if you haven't had one and you want one,
We're not
let
asking
us know.
anything for it. It's
No, it's
totally
free.
free. We just want to share our stuff.
The only thing I'd ask is maybe send a couple of pictures on Instagram or Twitter with the coin, things like that, just to show people that you've received, just so we know you've received it really, and you're using it and things
Share
like
the love.
that. Yeah. So New
Thank
Drum
you so
Drinkers
much.
growing every day. That is mainly due to you.
Yeah.
Well, it is due to you. There's not mainly. It is due to you. Without you, there is no New Drum Drinker. So keep on watching. We've got lots of ideas. Christmas is coming up. I hate to say, I know it's not that far away now. We've got lots of good ideas for bonfire night, for Christmas. Lots of different things coming up. So we appreciate your time tonight, and we'd like to say, as we always do,
pour it, drink it, enjoy it.
See you guys. It's been a
pleasure. Mwah. Thank you very much.
And we're still here.